Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. My name is Roy, aka Bloody Bananas, and in this video we're going to cover three types of the most common questions that you will see during a data science technical interview. And I will also show you guys how I prepare for these questions and what type of questions you can expect during the interview. Comment below if you find this helpful, and also definitely hit the like button as much as you can. And without further ado, let's get started with the video. So these are what you will generally see during the data science technical round. And even for the on-site, there are also a lot of technical rounds during those on-site interviews. And these are the questions that you will see over and over again. And of course, the first one that you'll be seeing is a programming question. These could range from Python to SQL, and that's really it for data science position. You might be tasked with the harder algorithm questions for a machine learning engineer interview, but if it's a data scientist interview, then you'll most likely be asked about SQL question. And almost 99% of the time, you will be asked some type of SQL question. And this is just to really gauge your ability to write your queries in order to pull the data so that you can do analysis and machine learning work, or just other type of data science work, right? Because everything is built on data. That's why it's called data science. And the biggest thing that they want to evaluate is your ability to pull the data. And that's why SQL is your friend here. And these are some websites that you can use to prepare your SQL skills. First one, of course, there's LeetCode. You can prepare your Python algorithm questions in LeetCode. And there are some SQL questions, database questions in LeetCode as well. Similarly, for HackerRank, there's a lot of Python and there's a lot of SQL questions that you can prepare for. And my personal favorite is this one called Strata Scratch. These are very similar to the questions that will be asked from those technical interviews. And it's just a great website. And I think these questions will be the most relevant to preparing for a data science interview. So I highly recommend this website called Strata Scratch. And all you have to do is just search for this website on Google, and you'll find it. And the fourth one is just working on some projects. You could use Google BigQuery in order to practice some of the queries that you might want to pull, and you could see how it works, right? And one important tip that I want to give you guys is that when you're doing these questions, you always want to mention your thought process throughout the question, and you want to ask your clarifying questions. And it really shows the interviewer that you are trying to understand the question. You're making assumptions a lot of times, and this is really important. It shows that you are trying to understand the data before you proceed, because a lot of times we run into issues, right? And it's important to figure out these issues before you even begin. I will focus more specifically on how to tackle these programming questions, specifically SQL, for my next interview, for my next video. I'm not conducting any interview, but right now. But yeah, I will make a video specifically to prepare you guys on how to handle those SQL questions during technical interview. And another advice that I will give you guys is just to practice. And if you've done all of the questions available on Strata Scratch and you understand every single question, I will say that you're pretty much good to go. And that brings up to the next type of questions that you will see is generally you will be asked with a product case study question. And these questions are also mainly three types of questions that you'll be asked. The first one is measured performance. And an example question could look like, how would you measure the success of this specific product or platform or this experiment? And then another type of questions that you might be asked is product improvement. And an example question would be, how would you improve this product or platform or user experience for this app? And these are also very similar questions that you will most likely see. And then the third one is troubleshooting. So these ones are, for example, could be how would you identify the reason behind a certain metric going down for the past quarter, for the last month. And yeah, so the reason why they ask you these questions, again, is to gauge your ability to understand the product, and they want to hear your thought process on how would you handle a problem, and they want to see your communication skills. One advice that I give you people is that you want to research the company that you're interviewing for before your interview. And specifically, you want to search for the mission of the company, because for a lot of these questions, you could bring the relevance of the mission into your question. For example, how would you improve the app? You could mention that the company's mission is to bring the world together, and then you can say, because that's the mission, our primary goal, the business goal, is to improve user experience. That's why I think the direction of our improvement should be focused on user experience, and this is how we will improve that for this specific platform. And that this really shows the company that you understand what is being done in the company. And generally, it's a big plus for these type of questions. So the very last type of questions that many companies like to ask for is your machine learning skills. They want to ask, usually they would ask very simple ones, or it could be more difficult ones. Very, very common questions is that they like to ask about the bias variance trade-off. They like to ask about the pros and cons between different machine learning algorithms. They like to ask you on the evaluation metrics you would take for different scenarios, and also assumptions for different machine learning algorithms, and also the feature engineering techniques. How would you handle a certain feature engineering, right? And a very important thing is that you want to know the theories. And an important way to prepare, a very, very clutch way to prepare for these interview, I will present you this Medium post by one of my alumni, actually, Bruce Young. It's called Crack the Machine Learning Interview Guide. And this post has helped me so many times before. Every single time that I am interviewing for a data science position, I go back to this post and I try as much as I can to memorize all the information on that post, because it includes everything you will expect from a machine learning type of interview. And I will actually show you guys specifically what is in that Medium post. So when you open, I will provide a link, of course. When you open that link, you will see this this Medium post, and it has almost 100 questions that are most likely to be asked. But unfortunately, Medium has a policy that you can't post the answers. So Bruce Yang also created a blog which also has all the answers. You can see that it includes top 15 machine learning algorithms and the big 5 questions that are likely to be asked for these machine learning algorithms. For example, we can click on one of them. Let's try decision tree, and it brings us to decision tree section, and it shows the big 5 type of questions. What are the assumptions? What is the cost function? What are the advantages and disadvantages? And then next up, there's a random forest, of course, and it goes the same way for all of the algorithms that you will see. And again, it also has all of the answers that you will find from the questions that we saw from the Medium post. So this is personally my favorite way to prepare for these machine learning questions. And again, I'll provide the link. Definitely check this out. This is actually just my big secret on how to always do well on these machine learning interviews. And once you go through them, you actually are also learning all the algorithms as you're going through them, right? So you're not really just preparing for this one-time interview. You're also increasing your knowledge overall. And that is why I find this extremely helpful. And I recommend all of you guys to check this out and use study the questions, and I think you will you guys will be good to go for the machine learning section of the interview. And with that being said, that concludes the video. I hope this video helped you guys to prepare for your upcoming data science technical interviews. I will dive in more specifically for each of this section on how to prepare for those questions and what are some tricks and tips that you can apply while answering these questions. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in my next video.